Hi, it's Nicole, and this is my blogging from A to Z challenge co-host profile. This next question comes from Melody Ann Jones Kaufman, who blogs at Magic Inc. And Melody Ann asks, what is your favorite independent movie? Well, I have a lot of favorite independent movies, but I would say New Jack City is a favorite because, Wesley Snipes, hello. It is New Jack City is, for those who are unfamiliar with the film, it's a crime thriller starring Ice-T and Wesley Snipes, and it's about a cop who goes undercover to bring down a ruthless kingpin in New York City during the crack epidemic. So there's a lot of dramatic scenes in the film and things like that, but I like the movie because it has a lot of good acting in it, and I think it's probably one of the movies that gave comedian Chris Rock his big break. And yeah, so it's you get a lot of interesting, you get some interesting perspectives on the war on drugs and how that all affects the communities where drugs and crime are prevalent. And you also get some perspectives on justice and our legal system and law enforcement and inflated egos and money and how these things can affect friendships and working environments and family and things that mean a lot. Like it's a really, really deep film. So that is definitely a favorite of mine. But when I read this question, I also wanted to, I also thought about the Battle of Algiers, which is a movie about the Algerian War. I would name that as a favorite, actually, except for the fact that I don't know if that particular movie is an independent film. So so at this time I can't name that as favorite, but I do know New Jack City is an independent film. I think it was directed by Mario Van Peebles, and he's made a lot of independent films over the years, and he's the son of Melvin Van Peebles, who's a big figure in the independent film arena. So that is a favorite. But even with that, I do have there are other independent films that are like right up there with New Jack City in when I think of a favorite independent movie, because that's like a movie, like New Jack City is like a movie that I would name as like a favorite independent film of all time, because it's classic, man. You can watch that anytime and it will never get old, man. Nino Brown is a force to be reckoned with, but also the cop played by Ice-T, he's a force to be reckoned with as well. And so that's an interesting there are some interesting dynamics in play in that film. But I want to kind of take this opportunity to shed some light on one of my, or shall I say, my most favorite independent film that I've seen within the last year, and that is actually a British film called Montana. It's a British action movie about a teenage boy who is running drugs for this Serbian gangster, and at the same time the boy kind of learns that his boss killed his parents, so he's out for revenge on this guy. And he, in the movie, he comes across an older man who is a former soldier in the Serbian army or something like that. And it's been like a few months since I've seen this movie, so I'm trying to remember like all of the details. But basically, the older Serbian soldier guy, he is a hitman who's after the teenage boy's boss. So they're and this guy is after him because the boss killed his family. So the teenage boy and the older gentleman, they both are out for revenge, and they're both after the same guy who happens to be, the gangster that the teenage boy is working for. And they both share like an anger and a quest for revenge. But the difference is the teenage boy is just like emotional, and he's like just, I'm out to get this guy. And so the former Serbian soldier guy, he kind of takes the boy under his wing and kind of teaches him how to manage his anger and how to handle guns and how to focus and how to do what you need to do if you want to plan to assassinate someone. Don't just throw a tantrum. There are steps in play. And so that's what this guy teaches the boy, and they end up they both end up learning a lot from each other. So it's a really good film. If you like the Professional, which is also called Leon, or if you like the film Colombiana with Zoe Saldana, then Montana would probably be up your alley of something that you might enjoy watching, because Montana has that like parental protector, like surrogate parent element that Leon the Professional had, and it also carries the quest for revenge by the child who's now grown up, like trying to avenge like a wrongdoing or murder of one's family. It has the element that Colombiana had with that. Montana carries that kind of like storyline as well. So it's an exciting film to watch. It is very action packed, and I believe it had a limited release back in December, but it was released on DVD in January of this year. So but although I do want to remind you that although it was released on DVD, it was released in the UK. So those of you in the States who would be interested in watching this film, you're gonna have to wait a while, because I don't think I've been looking for it, and it doesn't seem to be available in the US right now. So if you're participating in the A to Z challenge and you're listening to this, I know there are a lot of bloggers in the UK, so you can get it. But for those of you, if you live in other countries, you're gonna have to like do some searching to see if it's available in your country. But right now, it's not available in the United States on DVD, but it might be on iTunes. You could check. I'm not sure. That could just be a UK thing as well, which is, difficult for some who want to see the movie, I'm sure. And the unavailability of, if that's a word, of Montana it is the result of the restrictive nature of how movies are distributed in the entertainment industry, a lot of times the producers or the companies behind the films, whoever's in charge of selling the films, they don't always sell like the worldwide rights to a movie. Instead, they'll they'll split the rights up. So they'll split it up in, among different markets, such as television, rentals, like Netflix or whatever, and home video and theatrical and things like that. And they'll split it among territories, which are like Australia, Ireland, Canada, the UK, the United States and whatnot. So because of that, wherever the film is sold, that determines like who can see it. So I'm guessing since the film hasn't been sold to or licensed to a company that has the ability to distribute the movie in the United States. And it happens like that with, it's not just indie films either. Like this happens in Hollywood all the time. I think the big difference is that like Hollywood, they have a lot of they have so many connections, within the same companies work together all the time. So they tend to split their rights to a wider net faster than say like an independent film. And it's easier for Hollywood movies to probably secure worldwide rights and revenue at the same time for their films. I think I could be wrong though, but I think for independent films it can be more beneficial and more lucrative to split your rights between markets and between territories. It helps to get more things kind of rolling. It helps to put things in motion for a film so that it isn't sitting on the shelf. Because I'm guessing, say, just using Montana as an example, if the producers behind the film, if they are trying to pay investors back or something, or just trying to get their film out there, it may, it can harm you to kind of hold the film and wait for an opportunity to open it up everywhere versus rolling the film out a little at a time, doing what you can. And I think right now in the case of Montana, that's probably what they're doing, just getting the film out to as many areas as they can when they can. And unfortunately for us in the United States, that means that we don't have it, access to it, or we can't purchase the DVD of the movie right now, even though it has been released on DVD. It is out, it is available, it just isn't available in the United States. And even if you wanted to buy it, say you like Melody, and if you're listening, say if you wanted to buy this movie and you went and bought it, you bought the UK DVD, or you had a friend in the UK buy it and ship it to you, there's a good chance that you probably won't be able to watch it, because if I'm not mistaken, they use the PAL format. And so you could get the DVD, the UK version, but you still wouldn't be able to play it because you need the NTSC formatted DVD. So unless I'm wrong, I mean, where is PAL? No, PAL is Europe. Now that I think about it, I don't know. I don't have my technical details all laid out at the moment, but I'm sure you could look it up. But I just wanted to mention that as a warning, so that whoever's watching this, if you want to see Montana and you're like, whatever, I'm gonna go to the UK Amazon site and order the UK one, just to make sure, read the description and make sure that it says NTSC, or make sure that somewhere on the page, the order page, or iTunes, if you go to iTunes or wherever, make sure that it says that it is formatted for your country, or else you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a playback issue. So that's that. Moving on, I think even though we just went through all of this with the territories and all of that, I want to say that I would get Montana on DVD just as a gift for someone, but luckily enough, it was a movie that I saw because I saw it in theaters. I saw it at a film festival, and this is a prime example of how the fact that it isn't available, the fact that it's out on DVD but you can't get it if you live in certain countries, is a testament to the importance of attending film festivals. If you like to see movies that are made in other countries, if you want to see foreign films, they aren't always the term foreign film. I know when you think of that film, that term, it's easy to think of movies in another language with like subtitles that you don't understand, but like just movies that are not made in the US, English movies. If you like to see other, stories, I think it's, going to film festivals is a great idea because it gives you an opportunity to see the kind of films that you may otherwise not have heard of, but also films that you may never get to see ever, depending on how the film is released. Like, for example, although Montana might be rolling out in the US sometime this year, what if it doesn't? What if it's only available in the UK and in a few other countries? Then you would never see it. So because like I would have never seen that movie had I not gone to a film festival where it was playing. I would have never known the movie existed. So it played, I know it played at a few film festivals last year in different parts of the world, but it did play here in the States at some film festivals. So that if there's anything to be learned from this video, aside from learning what is my favorite independent movie, if you take anything away from this for your own knowledge, just know that film festivals are a great opportunity to watch films that may become your own favorites. So thank you for watching, and thank you Melody Ann, aka Magic Inc., for this question. And stay tuned for more random things about me. The Blogging from A to Z challenge was founded by Arlee Bird at Tossing It Out. To learn more about participating and to learn more about the history of the challenge, visit the link in the description box below. Thanks for watching.